Hey everybody, today in this video I'm going to show you how you might be possibly hurting your progress along the way by not staying consistent with your workouts. I'm going to break it down with some big scary numbers. I'm going to show you exactly how it works out I'm going to use some generalizations, but I'm going to show you how this works and why keeping your muscle is so ultimately important on getting to a result that you want and being able to maintain the weight that you desire and be able to sort of, eat what you want on occasion and not live the crazy, always in fat loss mode lifestyle. So if this is something you might be interested in, my name is Jure Pearson and I am a health and wellness coach. I coach fitness and nutrition across the board for lots of different types of people. So I'm going to break down, I'm going to take two average clients of mine, two different weights, and we're going to break that down. So I'm going to take the first person that I'm going to use as an example is going to be 150 pounds. We've got, they're both going to be the same height, 5'7", 40 years old. One's 150 pounds, one is 200 pounds, and I just use these so I could average some numbers and give you guys some generalizations. Keep in mind that I'm not really taking into account a lot about hormones. These are not undereaters. These are people that are eating a little bit over what their regular metabolic rate for a day is. So they've just kind of been gradually gaining, a little bit over time. And they want to lose that fat and get to comfortable, have a lean muscle mass on them, not have the fat, be able to eat regularly instead of always staying on the fat loss mode. So this is ideal for my client. This is kind of how what I would love to see for you guys. So let's just kind of dig in. So all right, so I'm going to start with the first person who's 150 pounds. She's 5'7", 40 years old. This is one of the generalizations, but it's a pretty average number. Losing on just an average day, burning about 1,700 calories. So that's a non-active day, what it would take for her to maintain her muscle mass without any ill effects. But if she goes over that number, that's where you're gaining your weight. So I'm going to start with her, and I'm just going to run through this real quick before we get to the next one, and then we'll do a little comparison. So on the first person, I'm calling this 4 different stages of fitness, and we're going to start at the very beginning. This is the very beginning where you're not in a workout program yet. You've sort of been mostly inactive, maybe getting a little bit of activity from work, but you're not in a fitness program. You're not really monitoring what you're eating. And so this is how the weight gain happens. So this person is stage 1, non-active, consuming between 1,900 and 2,000 calories a day. Like I said, this doesn't take hormones into account or under eating, so this isn't typical for everyone. Sometimes people are under eaters and they might have some adrenal fatigue or some other things keeping them from losing weight, but that's not what we're talking about here. This is the average person. So this person is consuming 1,900 to 2,000 calories in a day, gaining 1.5 to 2 pounds per month. And then after they meet with me and they're in what would typically be the stage 1 of their journey from my perspective, but from their perspective, this is stage 2. This is the first 6 to 8 weeks of a fitness program. They're doing 3 workouts per week because I like to take it a little slower in the beginning, to work up your joints and get your body moving a little bit before we jump into the heavy duty stuff. So this person we're going to cut their calories a little bit. So we're going to put them into 1,400 calorie per day regimen, which is cutting down about 300 per their daily requirement. So that's going to be fat loss. That 300 calories we cut is going to be fat loss. They're going to be burning in the beginning less calories than they will be once they have some muscle because their endurance isn't as high. So I'm averaging 350 calories per one of my strength classes. So they're doing 3 of those per week. So this is going to look something like this. They're have a deficit of calories of 2,100 with food, 1,050 calories from their workouts. And so this person is losing about a pound per week of fat. Then we go to the next stage. So at this stage of the game, we're at stage 3. Now they've got some lean muscle. They've had 6 to 8 weeks in their program, so they've started gaining some lean muscle, which is going to naturally increase your metabolic rate, your metabolism. So you're now on your non-workout days, you're burning more calories than you were before, and on your workout days, you're getting an even extra boost. Okay, so this person now has some lean muscle from their first 8 weeks of their workouts. They're doing 5 workouts now per week. And we're also sticking with the good nutrition that we started before. So now because their metabolism's now up to 2,100 calories average, which I see with my clients. Actually, just today I had a client that we had her print out and we averaged out per day, and that's what it was at. So now the deficit has now become 700 calories per day from food. They're burning 450 calories now because they're able to push themselves each workout to their endurance is up a little bit, so they can push a little bit harder and get their heart rate up and keep their heart rate up longer. So they're burning more calories now per workout, and they've added 2 more workouts in because they're trying to burn fat, and burning as many calories as you can when you're trying to lose fat is the key. So now I've bumped them up to 5 workouts a week. And that brings their total burn per workout now to 2,250 from workouts. So what does this mean? This means that 4,900 calories now, they are in a deficit from their food, from cutting their food and having that higher metabolism. They're also having a 2,250 calorie deficit from their workouts. This is now they're burning 2 pounds of fat per week, as opposed to the 1 pound before they had their lean muscle mass. So now we're going to continue at that pace, right, until they hit their goal. So wherever they decide that they're comfortable with their weight, we readjust. So at that point, we determine what their average metabolic rate is per day. We gradually increase, their carbs a little bit, change their macros out a little bit. They're not trying to lose. So they're not now required to do 5 workouts a week anymore. They can go back down to their 3 workouts because now they just really need to maintain their muscle mass. So you maintain your muscle mass, you automatically are allowed to eat more calories. So this is how this happens. I hope this all makes sense to you guys. So now you're back to 3 workouts a week. By then, hopefully, I've helped them find some hobbies. We live in, the great Northwest. So I'm always pushing, hiking, snowshoeing, paddleboarding, trying to find new things that work for you. And this is why. Because we don't want to spend every spare minute that we have in the gym. We want to be able to go and have a couple workouts, per week and kick our butts in those, but then the rest of it should just be fun. So that's the goal. So we're going to move over real quickly. This shouldn't take too long. So now we're going to move over to this person. So this person is a 200-pound person. Everything else stayed the same, 5'7", 40 years old. When you weigh more, when you have more mass on you, whether it's muscle or fat, it requires your organ function to be more. You pump more blood through your body. Your metabolism is higher. You are burning more calories than somebody who is smaller. So in the beginning, you'll notice a lot of you can lose a lot more fat in the beginning when you first start working out. Well, I'm going to show you a little bit about why. Okay, so we are at this point, we've got this person, their resting metabolic rate is 2,000 calories a day as opposed to the 1,700 on the other side. This person is just slightly overeating on that, so they're consuming 100 to 200 calories extra per day, which isn't a lot. You won't feel that. That's not something that you're gorging yourself or anything. That's just something where your body will adjust itself naturally based on your metabolic rate and your habits. So this person is gaining about 1.5 to 2 pounds per month as well as the person was before. They come into me and we're going to cut their calories. This person, because they do have a higher metabolic rate, I'm able to cut their calories a little bit more without it being unhealthy. So this person is cutting their calories down to 1,500 calories a day, and then in turn getting 500 calories as opposed to the 300 calories per day that this person was able to cut. During workouts, they also burn more calories. So when you, like I was saying, blood flow, organ function, when you're working out, you know, if you just think about that, you're working out hard, you are going to burn more calories. Not to mention you're lifting more weight. It takes more exertion just to do a workout. So we've got now this person is also burning now 1,800 calories from those 3 workouts that they're starting with, which gives them about almost a 2 pound, about 1 3/4 pounds per week fat loss. After you've put on some lean muscle mass there, so now we've got at this point they put on their lean muscle after their first 8 weeks, and now they're burning or their deficit of 900 calories per day from food. So now their metabolism's up even higher, so they are able to cut even more just from each day. So then they're also burning now even more calories in their workouts because now they have muscle mass and they have some endurance. So they're pushing themselves a little bit harder in those classes, and they've also added 2 more workouts per week. So this person is now has a deficit of 3,500 calories per week from workouts. So how does this work out here? Let's see here. We've got 6,300 calories from food, which came from up here, and then 2,200. I don't know where I got that number. So this should be 30. This should actually be a little bit higher. So this should be 3,500, and this actually works out to almost 3 pounds of fat loss. So this person doing nothing different was able to lose more at a healthy pace. We didn't cut the calories too low. We kept it at a reasonable rate. But this is just how the numbers work. So this person is, it becomes more challenging as you lose the weight is what I'm saying. So as in the beginning, I try really hard to get people to understand that if you stay with your program in the beginning, you will hit your goals a little bit faster. And then it becomes just a maintenance, where you're just doing your 3 workouts a week and it's not so challenging. We get stuck in this. We start thinking, I see this all the time. My clients all the time think, I'm going to have to deprive myself for the rest of my life in order to stay thin. Well, that's not the case. What we're doing is we're cutting out sugar, we're cutting out things that are hindering us from losing fat until we can get to a place where we're maintaining. So when you fall off, you need to get back on. If you are, if you're having a bad week, that's okay. It's just a week. Get back on because it's, gradual process is going to get you there just as much. But if you can, the main thing is you need to keep your muscle mass, because if you're stopping workouts for a few weeks here and a few weeks there, or even a month or 6 weeks, and then starting over every time, it's going to seem impossible because the first couple steps, I mean, look at it. Look at how much harder you're working in the beginning. Just in the beginning, this first little bit of time here, you have to work so much harder. You haven't built up your muscle mass. And it's only 8 weeks in that you're really things are clicking and you're really starting to lose fat. If as soon as you jump off of that track and you start losing your muscle again, it's a cycle and it's up and down, and it's not doing any good for you. So psychologically or physically. So let's try really hard to just not do that. Just stay consistent. Even if you can only get 2 workouts in a week, you're going to keep your muscle, and that's way more important than anything else in my book. You keep your muscle once it's there. So, all right. So I hope that this cleared some stuff up for you. I'm going to work. I'm working on a couple other videos that explains few aspects of this more in detail, especially the hormones and when you're an undereater, because that's just as harmful when you're undereating. And these numbers don't work the same way for undereaters. So you know, that's a whole nother video. But let me know, leave me some comments and let me know if you liked this video, if there was any questions in it that you might want to see another video posting about, and then because that's where I'm getting all my creative juices from you guys. So let me know how I can help, and if you'd like to see anything in the future. All right, well, you guys have a great rest of your week.